Imagine this, you feel healthy. You're not overweight. Maybe you even get compliments that you look fit. But inside your body, silent changes are happening. Your arteries are narrowing. Your blood sugar is climbing. Your metabolism, the very engine that keeps you alive, is slowing down. And you don't know it until one day the doctor says the words heart disease, diabetes, or stroke. Here's the reality: cardiovascular disease, obesity, and diabetes are the biggest killers of our time. And the scariest part is, many people don't even see them coming. You can look slim and still carry deadly fat around your organs. You can feel fine and still be at the edge of a heart attack. These are the invisible, and they're claiming lives every single day. But here's the good news: these conditions are not a life sentence. They are preventable. They are reversible. And the decisions you make today, what you eat, how you move, how you manage stress, and sleep can completely rewrite your health story.
With us is nutritionist Jenni Dean, one of the leading voices in nutrition and chronic disease prevention. Together, we are going to peel back the myths, expose the hidden dangers, and most importantly, give you tools to protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming another statistic. After COVID, we have seen rise in heart diseases, especially the heart attacks. Why do you think these conditions like heart disease, obesity, and diabetes have become very common in our society today?
Yeah, thank you for asking me that question. I actually get that question a lot because people don't realize everything they're doing when they eat their foods and their nutrition. It's affecting them on the biochemical level, and also it's affecting their metabolism and their insulin levels. So when someone goes to their doctor and they tell them they have heart disease, well, all these ailments have been like growing and like developing in their body many, many years before that. It takes about 7 years for our cells to change. So every 7 years, all your cells are upgrading. So if you go to the doctor and they say you have, like, you're obese, or you have, you've had heart disease, or maybe you've even had a heart attack, I can tell you 100% by looking at blood work that I do all the time, is that these clients of mine already have things going on like fatty liver disease, or they have pre-diabetes or diabetes. Because what's happening is, over time, when you have a lot of stress or your cortisol levels are higher, it actually causes your body to not break down the foods that you think you're doing all the right things. And you think you're eating healthy, but it's actually your body is not able to process all those nutrients because of the stress and the liver is already clogged from choices that you've made before. So it's my job to help you, get your liver healthy with small steps so that you don't have these other dis-eases in the body over time. Like when you have a car, like you wouldn't, if you heard the car was like chugging away, right?
Right.
You wouldn't not give an oil change, because what would happen? And your car wouldn't last very long, would it? And over time, our body can become sort of worn down a bit. Not that it's our fault, but it's because of our lifestyle and just different pillars of health that we don't really realize that we're not taking care of ourselves as well as we should be.
Right. Especially in these busy days.
Yes.
You're hooked up with your family,
yes.
kids, and especially women. They're not well educated on it.
Well, and it's not, and even when we do want to be well educated on it, there's so much on the internet and so many things telling you to do things a certain way. It's really confusing and frustrating.
Everybody on the internet is a doctor.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. And the nice thing with what I do is I really want clients to feel better and hopeful that they can reverse their cells right down to their mitochondria.
Oh, okay.
Because you have telomeres in your cells, and as you get older, they shrink, where that stores your DNA, your genetic materials. But you want your mitochondria, your cells. If you remember back to biology and chemistry, they have the little pictures of our mitochondria. and our cells and our nucleus, right? And all those, you want them to be healthy. So when you choose food first and you have different choices in your life with food, then you can definitely reverse any dis-ease and at least work with the doctor and myself to get yourself feeling better pretty quickly.
We often hear that someone can look healthy on the outside, but still have major hidden risks. Can you explain how that works with metabolism and heart health?
Absolutely. When I work with clients, I work with their metabolism and balancing their insulin levels. And that's all the hidden dis-eases or symptoms someone might have that affects their metabolism and also their blood sugar levels over time and their health, which can cause dis-ease in the body. So whenever I think of dis-ease, I say it like that, not disease, because it's dis-ease in the body, right?
Smart.
It's how you feel. So if you're in, and I'm not saying that everything you're feeling is a disease. So let's not get worried, paranoid, but you want to be aware of the symptoms so that you can be preventable and empower yourself to feel better. So if you cut your foot, for example, you wouldn't walk around with a cut foot. You'd put a Band-Aid on it. You'd put some antibiotics on it, like some polysporin or whatever you put on it. And then you'd make sure you're resting or you're icing that area. But same with inside your body. These are things you can't see. So a lot of times, women and men, they'll have a distended stomach. Right? And that actually already is, for me, I think of when I work with clients, I think of like the organs. For me, I always think of organs. But it talks about the liver, and everything starts in the liver. Okay. So if you already have like a diagnosis from your doctor, you really want to work on strengthening your gut, your liver, and your pancreas to get it healthy and working optimally. So someone could be walking around and drinking coffee all day, having a donut, or even skipping breakfast and just having coffee till like 1, or not even eating all day. And what they're actually doing is they're spiking their cortisol levels. So they're actually, whatever they're putting in their body and eating and drinking, their body's holding on to it because it needs that fuel and to keep you going and to go through your blood and your brain to keep you feeling better and to give you energy. But if you are not giving it the right fuel, and then over time, your fat gets stored, and that's how people get dis-ease, because they're already nutritionally deficient. And they're not realizing all those things are actually causing a clog in the pipes of their metabolism and slowing it down without them meaning to. It just happens because that's how your body's so smart.
Well, for someone like me, I feel there's a lot of fat in the lower part of the stomach. So can you explain how and why where this fat is stored in your body?
Absolutely. Well, did you know that insulin is a hormone? So that's when you know that makes you realize how much it affects your whole body. Oh. And the fat stored is so inside your body, the fat is called your visceral fat. So that's the fat you see around your liver, or the doctors will see that around your liver or your pancreas, even the heart, and that you can't see. That's a hidden fat. And then the subcutaneous fat is what you see on the outside, what we always visually see. So those types of fats are something to be aware of, and you want to get healthier from the inside out, not the outside in.
Why do you think metabolism is important? And especially for someone like me who have no medical background or much knowledge on medicine. So can you explain that to me in brief?
Yes. The reason why metabolism is everything actually is because it's always balancing your hormones. So biochemically, we're all unique, like a fingerprint. Like not one of us is the same. So your metabolism is key because that's a determining factor of how healthy you are inside your body. And so once you have a balance in your body with your metabolism, then you can definitely feel better and you'll have more energy, right? You'll sleep better. You'll be able to not have those highs and lows throughout the day. And you'll also be able to feel more like yourself again, get into those jeans you want to fit in. You feel more like you were when you're younger. And every age needs certain nutrients and different tweaking a little bit of the nutrient quality, not the actual we don't count the calories from, in my world, we actually want you to have the most dense food for what you're eating. So for example, you could have like a bag of chips that could be 300 calories, but you could also have a nice piece of salmon. That could equally be 300 calories.
But aren't chips labeled dangerous?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, they're trans fat. And they also cause free radical damage in your cells. So that's where your body, if something's foreign to your body and you're eating it, even GMO foods, your body will store it in your liver and then get rid of it. But if your body's already sort of a little bit sluggish and it can't get rid of what it needs to, that's where the liver protects your body so it doesn't harm your bloodstream and your brain over time and your heart.
Oh, even your brain at the end of the day is affected due to this fat.
Yes, exactly. Like some people, there's chemicals that cross the blood-brain barrier. And then you have your like hormonal system working, like your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and it's communicating all day long to keep your body in balance. Like when you look at the light outside, you're actually like not direct in the sunlight, but if you have like sunlight coming in through your window or outside, and you have that going into your eyes, it's going through your eyes to your pineal gland, and it's actually helping your body absorb vitamin D, which is another part of the hormonal system. So all day long, your brain, your heart, your stomach is always talking, so that like it's trying to keep you in homeostasis, which is balance, and it's trying to keep the pH balanced so you're not overly acidic. Because over time, this is where dis-ease creeps in, and a lot of people get frustrated and they're like, why do I have all these symptoms? What's going on? I eat healthy. I think I'm doing all the right things. But it does catch up with us, just like taking care of your home on the outside and not the inside, or like could be any analogy, really. But we tend to take care of material things more than ourselves. And we don't want to wait till it's too late. Like we want to have a better mindset with taking care of your own bodies, like daily as your lifestyle.
So if you have to point out to everyday habit that damages your heart and diabetes, what would it be?
For me, I feel it's too much sugar in our diet. That is a determining factor of all the problems that people get in their body, because we're eating on the run, and there's hidden sugars in all of our processed foods and things that we think we're eating healthy and we're not. We're not meaning to not eat healthy, but it's just the way our society is. And a lot of foods, for example, have wheat in them. And even in a lot of cultures, wheat is a staple. But over time, you can actually become sensitive to it. And you can get allergic to wheat, and it can cause sensitivity in your body and insulin sensitivity, and get stored with too much sugar in the body too.
And sugar, when you're talking about sugar, does this affect our kids? Because our kids eat a lot of sugary foods.
Yeah.
Everything that they touch, from their lunchbox to their dinner,
right?
There's so much of sugar in it. And does that affect the kids too?
It does, especially because when we're busy moms and we want them to like enjoy what they're eating, but a lot of times we don't always take the time to plan, and we don't always cook homemade meals all the time. But it's really important to not be lured by the advertising of different packaged foods. It's really best to give your children whole foods so that it's fresh and so that they're getting less sugar in their diet. Because a lot of kids are going through puberty younger and younger, and they have obesity because of the lifestyle with technology, but also from the lack of whole foods in their diet, unfortunately.
And puberty in kids is very early these years.
Now it is, yeah.
I believe it's 6. Is it 6 or 8?
About 8 now, about 8 to 12. Even 10, depends on the child, but around 8 or 9 at the youngest age. And it's scary because like we can't control all the hormones that are put in our foods, but we can do our best to figure out ways to cook more whole foods and more variety for them, so that they can have a good start when they get older, and so that they can balance their hormones and their metabolism and keep their organs healthier. I also think it's good to have like them involved in the kitchen so that they can help with cooking, and then they
Yes,
can also
it's a learning process.
It's a learning
too.
process for everyone, yeah.
Right.
And then they can have an input on what they want to eat and what they don't want to eat. But also, like, you have to sort of try 5 to 10 times a new food before they actually like it. So just knowing that really makes you feel better that, you're not having the struggle trying to feed your child something healthy. When eventually they will eat that food.
And when you mention fat, does it affect only adults, or can we take into consideration the kids even? Like, do kids have this fat accumulated in their body? What age is it?
Well, the thing is, like, we need a certain amount of fat in our bodies. Like, we need it for our hormones. We need it for our brains. Our brains need a lot of fat, and it also cushions your spine and your whole system, your circulatory system as well, to get out the free radical damage in your body. So fats aren't necessarily the bad thing, but it's when you eat too many fried foods or too many unhealthy fats that are packaged, then that's where the fats turn into sugar. Even too much breads. And that's where people don't realize that they think they're eating healthy, but it's actually turning into sugar and causing all these health ailments down the road.
Yes.
It's not anyone's fault. It's just not understanding or knowing. It's just you don't really think about it. But in my world, I always think about the organs and how it's affecting the person. Even emotions affect the person with their metabolism, because it slows down the whole system as well.
The emotions. Mm-hmm. Oh, emotions play an important role.
Oh, big role. Yeah. There's a term called psychoneuroimmunology.
Okay.
So it's how your thoughts or your feelings affect your biochemistry in your body. And even if and your immune system, so even if you have like an emotion, like say you're going through something stressful and you're really upset with yourself, or you get angry, or you have something going on, you feel depressed, that can really affect your biochemistry and cause a shift in your acidity and your pH in your body as well.
So Jenni, can you explain me how obesity disrupts metabolism?
Yes. So obesity disrupts metabolism because what happens is it causes a clog in the whole system. So the whole body can't metabolize your foods properly because everything's working more sluggish or more slowly.
So what is the relationship then? What is the relationship between obesity and diabetes, like especially the type 2 diabetes?
So what happens with obesity and type 2 diabetes, it causes something called insulin resistance. So what that means is, it means over time, the organs are overworked and they can't work optimally. So it causes other symptoms with your pancreas, which balances your insulin in your body, so it can't work as properly as it should. So what that means is the sugar is being stored in the liver and the pancreas, which means what you're eating is, the sugar is being the organs are always working. So it's always making sure you have enough glucose in your body. When you have diabetes and you're diagnosed with diabetes, your body's never getting a rest. It's always trying to process that sugar and always putting it out in your body. So then over time, your body can't make enough glucose. It can't work properly because it's already exhausted and burnt out. And that's why sometimes we need help with medicine or even insulin with type 2 diabetes because your body already is crying out for help.
What is the percentage of people being obese having what is the percentage of people, percentage of obesity people having diabetes?
It's a very high percentage, and a lot of people are not. I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose, but I can tell you that a lot of people that are obese already have a hypoglycemia. So they're already having the symptoms of diabetes and even walking around with it, but they don't know they have it necessarily. And it doesn't necessarily mean someone that's obese or a little bit overweight medically is even going to have diabetes or even going to have a visceral fat in their organs. It depends on their lifestyle and what they're already eating. So it's a tricky situation because it's not all a hard and fast rule. Like we can't generalize because we're all very unique.
I feel I eat well. I eat a very healthy diet, but still I don't lose weight. Do you think is there anything that I'm missing out on this?
Well, I don't just look at the food. Like I start with food as a foundation, and that's where I've always changed my life as well, like every single time. But you also want to look at, like, are you sleeping well? Are you drinking enough water? Do you have a lot of stress going on? Because even if you eat really healthy, you're taking all these vitamins and you have a lot of stress or you're not sleeping, it's really still going to be hard on your body because it can't process what you're eating as a healthy person, unfortunately. How you would like to be, how you would like to feel. And that's why metabolism slows down over time, because you need the foundation to keep you healthy.
So what are the measurements that a man and a woman should look out when you're talking about fat?
Yeah,
especially that is stored in the lower part of your stomach.
Yeah, that's a great question as well. So for a woman, it's 35 centimeters or more, or over that actually. And then for men, it's over 40 centimeters. If you measure around the waist at the belly button.
We have to keep an eye on it.
Yes.
And are there any earliest signs that someone's metabolism is becoming dysfunctional?
Absolutely. A lot of the early signs are someone getting like hangry, perhaps when they waited too long to eat their foods.
Okay.
Also, if you get headaches or like sort of brain fog with the memory, like short-term memory as well.
Oh.
As feeling tired or like having trouble sleeping or even going to sleep at night and sleeping long enough.
Going to sleep and sleeping long enough?
Yes.
Are the signs that your metabolism is dysfunctional.
Exactly. That's correct. Yep. And also things you can look at for your own body. Like you can look at like how often are you going to the washroom? You can look at like, are you constipated? You can look at, there's different things like with the nails and the hands and feet that can be looked at as well. And just different signs with your skin and your hair as well, like different things like that I would look at that can also tell you about your body if you have some challenges as well. Because your body's always speaking to you. It's always telling you like what's going on. It's like the gentle little whispers, right? That we don't realize. We just think, oh, we'll just put some cream on it or we'll just like take a pill. But actually it's not that easy. It's not like functional like that. It is functional, but there's not a quick fix. It really is a change in mindset and lifestyle habits.
Especially we women are so much concerned about our hair, our beauty.
Oh, yeah.
We do not go so far thinking about the fat in our body.
Exactly.
We go around the stores trying to check for the best shampoo or the best cream that you can get. Mm-hmm. But yes, we never thought about the fat in our body.
Exactly. And actually, some people are overly worried about their fat in their body. And then they have eating disorders or they don't eat enough or they binge eat. But but you need the fat in your body, like not just fat. And that's where I find the balance with programs I incorporate in my business helps people, because you have a balance of you have your protein and you have your healthy carbohydrates, which are also your fruits and vegetables. And you have your slow refined carbohydrates, like your whole foods, like your rye bread, spelt bread, quinoa. There's a lot of different nuts and seeds. There's a lot of different fats you can use. Avocados. You could use some nice fish. Some small fish as well are really good for you. The smaller fish. So there's many different things that you can use in your body. Have every day. It's to support your body, but it's a mindset as well. It's not just fat's bad for me because, well, your body makes 80% of its cholesterol on its own. So the rest is from your diet already. So there's a lot that your diet can do to help reverse things in your body. And you need, your doctor will tell you, oh, your cholesterol's too high, right? but it's because your body is already not metabolizing the foods that it should. And there's too much sugar and too much processed foods or too many breads. And that's where your body gets stuck.
When talking about cholesterol, what type of cholesterols do we have in our body? Like, can you briefly explain the different types of cholesterols that we have and what is a good cholesterol and what is a bad cholesterol?
Yeah, so we have high density lipids and low density lipids. So the you want a higher amount of high density lipids in your body rather than low density lipids. So you want the healthy fats in your body because you need that for your hormones and your brain health as well. So a lot of people I find they're already off the charts in their cholesterol, and then they're given medications for it. But the problem is, which you always should talk to your doctor about this. The problem with that is you have to be careful because it's a blocker for healthy fats when you do consume them. So yeah, so it's really a good conversation to have with your practitioner or your doctor of how you want to support your body. Where all my plans are food first. So I really like to get to the root cause and help the person feel better on all levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we have to talk or discuss on cardiovascular health and disease, how does this food affect our arteries and the heart?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. So this comes back to our dis-ease in the body. So when we are diagnosed with, say, high blood pressure or, blocked arteries, for example, any kind of dis-ease, we have to really look at, how are we feeling? Like, how are we feeling day to day? Like, are we able to get up in the morning? Like, can we get up right away or do we have to lie in bed for 2 hours, or an hour? Does it take us, do we feel achy in the morning? Like, or are we really, do we have to really limber up before we, or do we have to have that caffeine in the morning to get going? Do we need a stimulant or a cigarette or whatever it might be? And this isn't judgment, this is education. So whenever you are picking and choosing your decisions in life, this is where it affects your body's chemistry. And that's what affects your metabolism and your insulin levels. And it affects your blood pressure, which can constrict or restrict the blood flow going to your body and to your brain. And that's why our body, like our brain needs glucose, like we need it. And that's why when a person doesn't eat properly in the day, they do crave sugar. Like you're going to want that donut. You're going to want that sweet treat, because your body needs it to function, to keep you alive. But that's where you have to think to yourself, like, what's a better choice, or what can I replace the unhealthy food with a healthy food? And that's why it's important to have the healthy foods in the house and have them ready and prepared so that the person, and when you're feeding a family, will grab a healthy choice rather than, cake on the counter or whatever it might be. And I'm guilty too. Like, I had to work hard having a family, and I'm a blended family too. And, my husband has diabetes and he really loves sugar. But that's because his body, it's a habit, but also his body needs the glucose to give him energy.
Exactly, right.
And a lot of people are eating the wrong foods. Also, emotionally, either they're bored or they need something sweeter in their life,
Or because of the companion beside them, they have to.
Yeah, it's influenced. That's exactly. It's influenced by what's in the house. So, like, you're not being mean or bad if you say to your spouse or yourself, I don't want this food in the house. Like, there's a guilt component as wives and as mothers. Like, we feel guilty till our kids are older, but we don't have to. We really want to take care of ourselves so we feel better and make better choices for ourselves. A lot of times when you eat foods, like say you want a crunchy chip with salt on it, like if you crave, do you crave salty or do you crave sugar foods?
Oh, I crave salty.
Okay.
Yeah. And just today when I went to the groceries, my daughter asked me for a chocolate.
Okay.
I said, honey, let's concentrate or let's focus on a healthy diet. And she told me, Mom, once in a while, chocolate is good, Mom. Like, Really? Is that true? How does this chocolate affect our health?
Well, I think treats are important because they keep you focused and they keep you motivated to stay on track. The problem becomes when we like that food so much that that's all we eat and we have it like every single day, then it creates bad habits in our body.
Does that piece of chocolate is good or the whole bar?
A
If
piece.
you eat the whole bar of chocolate.
Yeah, and I don't want to say any food is necessarily bad for you, because that's like getting into a different part of how you feel, like your relationship with food. I think it's okay to have that chocolate if you'd like it, but the problem becomes if someone feels guilty about it after that, having the treat, and then they starve themselves because like, oh, I had that chocolate, oh, I better not eat dinner. Or they over exercise, and then it becomes another thing with an eating disorder. And that happens with kids a lot that I see, because they have a lot of pressure from their families, but also from their friends and social media. And they think they should be looking a certain way. But in reality, everybody's so unique. And if they realize that how beautiful, they are, how they are, then they would sort of embrace that and have more knowledge. The education piece is a big part, starting at home. And that's where I teach a course, 6 weeks to a healthier you, that runs usually over 3 months to kids and adults. And I'm also a metabolic balance coach. So I help a lot of people 18 and over, women and men. And my oldest is actually over 80. Believe it or not. Yeah. And my youngest was 14, but now my youngest is 4. So it's really fun, really giving the parents that support that people need. That this is a bigger mission for me than I realized, that I'm really giving people I'm like their cheerleader, and I'm really educating them, because the moms and dads need that a lot with the families. They don't know, because it's so busy, they need the help too, where the doctors don't always have the time with the nutrition, or are they educated in that part of it? So that's where I come in. Yeah, so when you were talking about chocolate with your daughter, actually sometimes people are low in magnesium, and chocolate has a lot of magnesium in it. And actually dark chocolate is a mood, helps your moods with serotonin in it. So when people are craving a certain food, it actually causes mood enhancers in your body. And that's why you also crave that food, because it makes you feel good. It's important to also remember, all our lovely, our milks and our cheeses and our, our lovely carnivorous vegetables, like our broccoli and our cauliflower, all these vegetables and our fish, and all the lovely beans and lentils you have, and all the lovely spices and herbs are really good mood enhancers. So if you know that as well, then you'll say to your daughter, if she's always wanting sweets and you're always wanting salt, and you'll say, okay, what can we have as a treat perhaps that's more healthy? And you can make some lovely kale chips, and they're high in magnesium and potassium in the oven, but don't cook them too long because they burn fast. But you put a little bit of olive oil and sea salt, and they're crunchy like a chip. So there's different things like that you could do to sort of teach your daughter and your son, how to pick different choices. Because crunchy foods, you actually need crunchy foods, because it actually activates your pituitary gland in your brain, which is your hormones. So when you crunch on a carrot or even crunch on a chip, it's actually activating that as well. And but everything else is going on in the body too, depending what you're eating.
Right. There's so much about crunchy food and the soft foods, than that how it affects your brain.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's also another topic, but we could talk about later, our next episode, with mental health as well. And that's where we talk about, I really like to focus on emotional eating with clients and self-care.
Yes, definitely. On the next episode, we shall focus on the mental health.
Yes.
That is very, very important.
Yes, very important. Yeah. Especially with the colder weather coming. I would really love to just focus on just that as well, to help everyone feel better as well throughout the season, that the season changing.
Yes. We'll do that definitely.
Okay, perfect. Amazing.
From nutritional perspective, how do you define optimal health?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So optimal is a great word because a lot of times when we eat a certain food or we look at a vitamin, it just says take 2 a day, or you eat this amount of food on the Canadian Food Guide, But optimal means how much, and I was trained this way, how much you actually need to function optimally. So your organs are functioning how they should with a lot of supports from food and vitamins as well, but more foods so that you're feeling your best. And people don't know what they don't know. Like, you don't know that you're not feeling optimal. We're just used to it. So,
or we just think it's a part of our life.
Yeah.
We just move on.
Yeah. And once you feel like you notice the differences by these changes, you'll be like, oh, this is how I really should feel. And then you're like, this is my optimal health. And that's really amazing, actually.
Let's talk about these nutrients. So what do these macronutrients and micronutrients play a role in your body?
Yeah. So when you eat your food, we don't think about what macro or micronutrients, right? We just want to eat when we're hungry.
Can you talk about this macronutrients and micronutrients?
Yeah, of course, no problem. That's a great question too. So macronutrients are your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats. And the micronutrients are the micronutrients. So they're the magnesium, the zinc, the minerals.
Oh, the minerals.
Right? Selenium, And did you know you can have 2 Brazil nuts per day to get all your selenium in your body, which is even more than the zinc that you can take in a supplement, in 2 Brazil nuts. So that's pretty cool too. And that affects your whole immune system. So the macronutrients are your protein, your slow refining carbohydrates, not just breads, but your fruits and your vegetables, and then your healthy fats. And then your micronutrients, I more focus on like zinc or magnesium is one that people are often deficient in. Like if you have restless leg syndrome at night when you go to sleep, it's a symptom of magnesium deficiency in the body. Yeah. I know, isn't that interesting?
Very interesting, right?
Yes. And the macronutrients will build your body, like your muscles and your bone, like your muscles and your bones, and they do the repair in your body to make you stronger. And then the micronutrients help everything behind the scenes. So they help your nerves regulate and your muscles relax. And they help your white blood cells and your red blood cells get stronger with your immune system. And they really help. They play a vital role in your whole brain, your blood connection, and your whole system with relaxing the body with rest and digest rather than fight and flight. A lot of women, as we get older, and even if you exercise a lot, you're losing a lot of minerals and you don't realize it, which can cause a disruption in the hydration and the balance in your blood and your brain with your hydration levels and electrolyte levels, which can make you tired as well throughout the day because you're losing a lot of fluids.
Especially women after 35.
Yes.
How does this impact them?
Yeah, so a lot of women come to me 35 plus or 40 and they ask me what's happened. I used to have so much energy and now I have all these aches and pains and my energy's slumped. I don't know. So I work with them on getting them back to their roots, on feeling better with their hormonal health, with foods and nutrition, so that they can have all the foods that they need in their body. So I'm a holistic nutritionist, but I also work as a certified clinical nutritionist. I have a diploma in holistic nutrition, and I'm also with advanced symptomology, and I'm also a metabolic balance coach. So I really work with clients with a questionnaire that I have, or I coach them over 3 to 6 months just to get their metabolism in check. We take 36 markers of their blood work.
Okay.
And then we send it off to Germany. And then we have the practitioners look at it there, and I give them the blood work requisition. And then I formulate a plan for them with all of the deficiencies in their blood to help their whole body balance better. It's really game changing for people. for weight loss, but also for weight balance.
What do you mean by weight balance? Like, what is the difference between weight loss and weight balance?
Yeah, so if someone is like over like the weight that they want to be for their age, they would want to lose and like a little bit of weight and get more lean. But people that don't want to lose weight or can't lose any more weight, and they have to be a certain BMI to work with me as well. But they want to balance, so I would still have a plan for them, but they wouldn't be losing the weight. They would be just having the foods on there to get their organs healthier. So to help them with their fatty liver disease or their heart health, and to get their blood healthier too.
Well, Jenni, when talking about the nutritional strategies, how does the age, activity level, and genetics influence the nutritional needs?
That's a great question. Well, it all affects you. So people say, well, I have genetics of some predisposition in my body, so that's, I'm going to get that. But that's not true. It's actually more important to eat healthy to change the genetic disposition in your body. So if you know you have a genetic disposition, it's better to combat that with healthy foods, movement in your life, make sure you're getting enough rest, and make sure you're getting the proper amount of nutrients in your body that you need. It's not just about genetics. It's actually more important how you live your lifestyle to change the whole trajectory of the disease in your body. And if you have someone in your life that actually has, sugar levels that are already sort of all over the place, or they're trying to combat healthy eating, and it's really, really challenging for them, what I would recommend is have some fun together in the kitchen. Start pre-planning some meals and try to do it at night so that you don't have to worry about it the next morning when you're trying to rush to work. A little bit of planning goes a long way. And don't bring things into the house that would tempt the person, right? Like if you already know that they're have a trouble eating sugar, not good to buy it, because like the taxing on our system, we want to really make sure we're putting deposits in our system and investing in our body and our health as we invest in so many things in our lives. So there's many types of nutrition and lifestyle strategies the person can take where they really want to work on, what do I really want to put in my body and how do I want to feel? And like, if I'm feeling tired or am I hungry, which is it? And do I maybe need some more water? There's a really good book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And there's so many different strategies that you can take. And just by listening to the little parts that are going on in your body, it can really make a difference, especially if someone is already ill in your family or with your spouse. It's even a little bit more challenging, but it really helps both people to come together and feel better with a better relationship with themselves and food. And just make sure you have a routine. So being consistent is really the key, and having someone to help you get there. That's what I hear all the time. It's very hard to, when you do this, to be hard on yourself and say, oh, I tried, and you feel bad that you weren't successful in your goals. But if you've tried everything already, then I would reach out to myself or a practitioner that you want to work with, and definitely it makes a difference in your success to have someone by your side.
When talking about this nutrition planning, how would you approach a person with obesity and versus one with a cardiovascular risk?
Yeah, so both I would treat similarity, because a lot of times when someone is obese, they're putting pressure on their heart. But if someone already has had a heart attack or they already have been diagnosed by their doctor with something with their heart, I would definitely opt to provide them with a plan, more of like a Mediterranean type of meal plan for them. And for the obesity one, I would do a really good healthy eating plan with a more balanced plate. Increase their vegetables, their low glycemic foods. So increase their vegetables, increase their little bit of what type of protein they're eating. And the obese person really needs to have more time to prepare their meals and know how what they're putting in their body and how much it affects them, and not just go like wait so long when they're starving and then, go order something from the store because some people wait too long and then you're starving and then you're just sort of self-sabotaging yourself. So it's just really changing your habits and being more consistent with how your choices you're making in your life.
And how do you monitor this, like the nutrition plan that is working or not?
Yeah, so what I recommend doing is you can measure yourself with a tape measure, literally, or a scale. There's a lot of fitness apps you can use. I use a fitness app in my metabolic balance plan when I coach clients. So we use that as an accountability tool.
Okay.
I also have apps that I use, which are really helpful. But more importantly, it's really good to write down everything in a journal, like a food diary journal. And you do one section with what you've eaten in breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then you also write another section with how you're feeling.
Okay.
And then another section with how much water you're drinking. And it's different than just using an app. It's better to write it down because it makes something with the brain writing a connection actually keeps you more accountable. And you're going to look at that and have more consistency than actually just on the computer. Yeah.
Yes, because the book is always there right in front of you.
Exactly. And it's good. And I really encourage clients to do that. And then they can work with me as well. And I would coach them as well through it too.
And did the clients feel helpful writing on a notebook
rather
than on a device?
Most people do. And I find the people that write it down more than the people that just use the app actually hold themselves accountable more and they reach their goals faster because I find they're more focused and they actually bring me their homework almost with their written work.
Okay.
Rather if there's just the app, then I feel like they forget about it and then they do something else and then they're not always as committed to the program fully, or they're going back and forth with it if they're not writing it down. It's just there's something between the written work and actually doing it. It goes hand in hand.
How often do they reevaluate their nutritional strategy or their lifestyle strategy?
Yeah, so you want to do it quarterly. So every 4 months or so, I would reevaluate what you're doing, 3 or 4 months, just to do a check-in with yourself and just say, how are you feeling? Like what needs to be tweaked with nutrition or healthy eating? How much water are you getting? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you managing your stress? And then get a little bit of light movement in there too, and do some weight training is really helpful as well. And then all those things, if you sort of check in with yourself, really help you get to where you want to be with your goals every season. Every season's what I recommend.
So with a lot of apps and tools out there in the market, we have everything in our hand.
Yes.
So what do you suggest on this? Having a personal nutritionist is better than going through the apps that you have?
Well, it's really personal preference. I find people that have tried all the apps and have tried all the different types of diets. That's the people that come to me because they realize that they need someone to coach them and give them educate them on how to eat properly with nutrition. Where a lot of the apps or a lot of the diets don't do that necessarily. And I like educating so that people have a lifestyle change, not just the diet. I don't really even believe in diets, actually. And the apps are helpful to a point, but then you have to get the right app. And then that's where sometimes people fall off it again because they're not consistent with it. So it's just really personal preference. But if you've tried everything else, then it's really nice to have me as a nutritionist to coach you and get you to where you want to be. And that's the key. Like, that's why people come to me. Where they've tried everything else, they're like, okay. And then they come to me and that's where I just get them where they need to be pretty quickly. But they're really ready and motivated. Their why has to be strong enough, right? Like if they really know where they want to be, like if they're trying to conceive or if they really want to lose weight because they have an ailment, or if they're just sick and tired of feeling that way, that's where they come to me. They're really motivated to get better faster because it really works.
Someone having in person rather than talking to an electronic device.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a connection too. So I work with mind, body, and the heart, like the whole person. So I want to make sure that self-care is a big part of it too. So it's not just about, disconnecting with the app. It's about
You
having
have
a
an
real
emotional
conversation.
support.
Yes, exactly. That's what people really like as well.
Well, when talking about the nutritional needs, what is the difference between the children and the adults?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So, adults are more having the nutritional needs for maintenance or like a certain more of a purpose, where the children's nutritional needs are more for like they're growing and they're developing their bones, and their muscles and their brains and their hormones. So they want more education, and they need more nutrition for their little bodies that are growing. That's why it's really important to make sure that we use whole foods when we're letting our growing kids get all the nutrients they need, and make sure it's a variety of foods. So they want to have their proteins, their vegetables, their healthy fats, right? And their slow releasing carbs. I do have a plan I wrote for kids as well, just specifically how much to feed them. But it also depends on the child, their age, and also their growth, like how big or little they are, and what their goals are too. But it's really important. It helps with their eyesight. It helps with their brain development. It helps with their hormones, right? It helps with their reproductive organs.
The whole system.
Yeah. And actually, when a kid, I don't know if you knew this, but at each stage of the kid's life, the child's life, their organs are developing.
Yes.
So around 3 to 4, it's the thyroid. And then the livers aren't even fully developed till they're 7.
Interesting.
I know. So if you realize that, then parents will realize not to feed their kids maybe solids too soon, right? When they think they want to, and some kids want to because they're already getting their teeth. Teeth in a kid's, when they have their teeth sprouting, is a good indicator that they have their digestive enzymes and they're ready for some more sort of soft foods. It's a sign.
Okay.
Yeah, but a gummy child, you want to wait till at least they get some teeth coming out. Then they're more ready for a next stage of foods.
So the liver keeps growing until what age does the liver keep growing?
Yeah. Well, as far as I was aware, it fully develops at 7.
Oh, okay.
But the liver can actually regenerate itself too. So say like you have a fatty liver, for example, you start eating your healthy foods and the liver will regenerate itself, which is really cool. So that's good, right? Even the brain, like one part of the brain can get damaged, and then it creates all new neurons in the body, neurotransmitters and neurons in the body of new connections too.
We spoke about kids and adults. Let me also include pregnancy in this.
Sure.
And if you have to talk about nutritional needs and metabolism, what would you suggest during pregnancy?
Yeah, so when you're actually pregnant, I have a course on that too. I wrote up actually, but when you're pregnant, you need more nutrients while the baby's growing and developing. So you want to make sure you have 1 to 2 healthy fats per day. You want to make sure you have up to 3 proteins, different proteins at each meal. You want to make sure that you have up to 6 carbohydrates, which are your vegetables and your fruits, 3 fruits a day as well. And you want to make sure that you're having your slow releasing carbs, like maybe some breads as well, which is up to 2 to 4 a day. So half a slice of bread is 1 serving. And then from that, you want to really make sure that you're getting a lot of folate in your body for the developing of the baby's spine and B12. You want to make sure you're really getting a lot of omegas in the body, omega-3 for the baby, for the mommy and the baby, right? And you want to really make sure you're getting a good multivitamin just to make sure you're not missing any of the vitamins in the body. The good B vitamins really helpful too for the developing baby and for yourself too. And when you're pregnant, you want to make sure you have an extra 15% of grams per day of your proteins and your healthy carbs, like your vegetables or fruits, on top of what you like if you normally eat. You want to add 15% more when the baby's growing. Yeah, I wrote courses up on like pregnancy. I have a cancer course that I wrote, and then I wrote one is 6 weeks to healthier use my foundational course. And then and then I just have my metabolic balance as well. So
if you have to give 3 takeaways for all the listeners out there, what would it be?
So my 3 takeaways would be to start slowly by trying to cut out sugars out of your diet, not your fruits, not your whole foods, but your refined sugars, your processed foods, and start getting rid of the box things and start making things homemade. Just start bringing in slowly some more vegetables and fruits in your life to get away from the sugars. The second takeaway would be to be more consistent in your planning and organizing yourself, your life, if I can say that. Just really be mindful of like how you're planning your stuff so you don't get in your own way, you don't self-sabotage yourself. And the third one is to get off your phones at night. So make sure that blue light is out of your eyes, an hour before you go to sleep. So I recommend the 3-2-1 rule. So 3 hours before you go to bed, you want to make sure you finish dinner and do your homework and all that stuff, clean up. 2 hours before bed, you want to finish that movie or go for that walk or do something fun. And 1 hour before bed, no screens at all. And that really helps balance your hormones, because when you don't sleep well, it dysregulates your hormones because it just increases your cortisol levels. You don't feel yourself the next day, and then you're going to crave more sugar.
And before going to bed, one thing if you have to suggest, what would it be? Either eating something or reading a book?
Oh, I'd recommend stop eating after 9 o'clock p.m. And if you're doing shift work, you can do the reverse. So you just do your shift and then stop eating at a certain time. Like you'd have to do the reverse. But yeah, reading a book or doing a puzzle. But try not to even read a Kindle before bed. Kindles are great. I love them. I love my books on my tablet too. But try to read a physical book or write a journal or listen to some nice binaural beats music. Or some yoga nidra meditations are lovely. The breath really helps calm down your nervous system, especially at the end of a busy day. And it really helps you sleep better. You don't want your brain to keep thinking of that action movie you're watching before you go to sleep or face, online things.
And your whole night is disturbed.
Then you're just...
So if today's conversation resonated and if you are ready for the personalized science care, you can reach out to Jenni.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Jenni Dean. I'm a holistic certified nutritionist and a metabolic balance coach. I also was trained in advanced symptomology for 3 years. So I really like to get to the root cause of helping clients with self-care, emotional eating, and metabolism. Please reach out today. I'd be happy to speak to you soon. My website is www.jennideennutrition.com. And my email is jennybdean11@outlook.com. And you can reach me on my website. Just send me a message or on Instagram or Facebook. And I wrote a book called the Deceptive Truth when I was going through my divorce and my health challenges. And I'm remarried now, but you can definitely reach out to me to get your copy. And I also have this as a sneak peek of what you will receive along the way with all the different packages I give to clients when you do sign up with one of my programs, especially the Metabolic Balance Program. And this is something that I give people as a gift at the end.
Do you have an online copy for it?
Of this?
Yes.
I do have online copies of my recipe books and of this book as well.
And where do we find them?
You would have to reach out to me as a message on my website, and I could send that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
That's easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.